In our quest to bring to the table perfect time to welcome you into the Situation Room.
Senate needs to lend its voice to the plight of this people that resign and leave.
As elections give the citizens the chance to also important to having a Nigeria of everyone's dream. On issues around politics, Policy 98.3 FM.
More than 265 lives tragedy had feasted on many human. The answer is a resounding no. Scooping fuel from an overturned park and disaster strikes. Ignorance or hardship can ask the relevant authorities to secure the area and prevent a potential as deadly. Don't take the risks. The Situation Room, we've got a banger for you. Don't miss it. Engaging of that particular progression room. Well, this is the place where we have our socio-political all around the world as well, but most times it's always issues of policies, politics, everything that affect our existence as a people, from the people that we voted into office and even the people that the ones we voted decided of government. So we'd always have that conversation here, especially when there are policies of government that seems pretty complicated. And Mango in Ado-Ekiti, how does the reduction of foreign exchange, how does the very few privileged men for in a country where we have over 230 million people approximately? And I think these are certain questions that will chance members of yesterday we had a quick station and Mr. Allen started. I'm talking about messages. Big shout out to the Lagos State Ministry of Environment. The people are sweeping the street of Lagos. Thank you very much for their capacity to make sure that they are safe. Well, that's what we've always asked for. And when concerns are to everyone, I responded to that. Alleged that some question everyone is asking is this: how much ask if you are the chief executive officer of your state? I don't think the people wants to know who are the ones involved. Even if we want to know, the relevant in Abuja are the ones sponsoring the killings in your state. As a governor, what are you doing? Killings in your state. What have you done to make sure that those people are actually brought to justice? That's the question we need to ask ourselves. So, well, Professor Emmanuel Lusue is joining me in charge of maybe lawmakers, yes, depending on what he means by the people in Abuja are the ones in charge. So I'm trying to understand, has made a startling revelation about the recent surge in attacks in the state, claiming that some serving politicians and give such. I'm sure he knows that he can't give such a statement without having fact. According to the governor, these politicians are not only instigating the attacks, but also have witnessed and escalating brutal attacks in recent weeks with several local government areas. With my guests. And then when we do that, I would come back. From mainland 98.3 FM, I'll be back shortly.
I understand. If there were.
In our quest to bring to the table issue-based conversation around nation situation room as we continue to build the narrative about public service.
Mr. President, there is nowhere I can say it except here.
Citizens the chance to make their political decisions. Constant demand for quality leadership from those they will join Oᴜᴜᴜᴜ as it takes to task seasoned analysts, opinion makers, business professionals. 5:30 p.m. on your super dial mainland.
January 2025, more than 265 lives have been lost to fuel tanker explosions in Nigeria. Guess what? And states in their countless attempts to scoop fuel from overturned tankers. Ask yourself, is it worth the risk? The answer is a resounding no. Scooping fuel from an overturned park and disaster strikes. Flee immediately or alert the relevant authorities to secure the area. Remember, fuel scooping is deadly.
Of Lagos.
With approximately 47 million people practicing open defecation nationwide, Nigeria ranks among the top countries globally with the highest number of individuals who lack access to proper sanitation facilities. The stats look grim. The overriding effect in itself can be terrible to our general well-being. In that light, we from Mainland 98.3 FM call on the government to increase its efforts in providing public toilets to end this scourge. And we also encourage citizenry to imbibe proper hygiene and not defecate in public.
What about sunrise? What about rain?
Between October 2024 and January 2025, more than 265 lives have been lost to fuel tanker explosions in Nigeria. In many Nigerian states, in their countless attempts to scoop fuel from overturned tankers, ask yourself, is it worth the risk? The diesel, kerosene, and gas are highly flammable. One spark and disaster to scoop fuel, flee immediately or alert the relevant authorities to secure the area and prevent a potential deadly. Don't take the risk. Stay alive. Be alive. Thank you very much and welcome back. We're just, we can get through this time around. Prof, good evening. Where service providers don't exactly call for the past 10 minutes or thereabout. But I'm glad you're here. Had an inconclusive conversation the last time we were here. And the governor of Benue State, Governor Ali, has alleged that some serving police, other North Central states have witnessed this escalating brutal. I'm sure you've seen this, revelation to be, because as the governor of the state, even though the commissioner is not under your control, what do you make of that when you saw this story?
For the governor to politicians who are in Abuja, security report that he has received. And for me, I am not privy to. I would have loved to have him be so specific to him to have made a sweeping statement, represent our offense that they are sponsors. What do they want to achieve? If you are representing somebody, your own constituent, I just want to make it categorical so that this if that has not happened the next 1 to 2 weeks, then
thank you. And
you're welcome.
I mean, the state police, because one would expect that if the executive governor probably more detailed information in respect to the committees set up to look into the immediate acts to death during a communal clash between two neighbors, including a police officer with different attacks by these allegations from Governor Aliak.
What architect allegations? It is difficult to determine things that you have mentioned. Are some of them individuals or groups or terrorists? And also, to me, we've seen people dress up in resembles what has been happening, and the language they speak is what sufficient security information to say to honor. If you have not heard the occurrence, then he has kept some of us and make it explicit so that we also be on the same experience in Benue State. So type of propose or bring out his own officer, he needs also thinking that some of us, the line that I think he should need to to follow.
Every space, every social political conversation now, or they are merely Benue, or they are not from the senators, it could be anybody. But let's even assume such a thing could happen. Is it political? Is it economic gain? What? These are the names of the sponsors. Security agents.
I've created a lot of confusion team. His sponsor killings of his people. But let's give him the benefit among the politicians, and so it has been borrowed somewhere, imported in the certain utterances of His Excellency as anything. So I don't want to be very to explain further. I mean, why would our wanting him to the National Assembly to represent us, our own representative from Benue neighbors, I have not perceived that, but from other states, because probably with cows here and their cattle belong to some National Assembly from this open grazing in the state, that they must, their cows have run away from this. So maybe from that angle, we say that pastoralism is politics of interest to get what they want. So I will not defend them either. Very part of our problem.
Okay, our governor, Samuel Ortom, actually implemented the anti-open grazing law that was enacted and domesticated in Benue State. I remember when Governor Alia came up, there was 14 days ultimatum that to implement this domesticated law in Benue, because with the spread of killings that is going on, which I'm a member of, that, we always wait for the numbers to go up, or if it is not 25, if it's not 42, we don't talk about it. That is a big issue. Prof, why is it difficult? Is this about lack of political willpower, or you think their interest, we need to find a way, difficult? Okay, Prof, good to have you back.
Yes. Yes.
So I was asking that why is it difficult to implement? Have not stopped. Is this lack of willpower, or you think there are interests that are too much for the governor to control? Why is it difficult to, implement these anti-open grazing law in Benue?
Initially there was a strong resistance against the law. They resisted the law. So even up to Supreme Court enforced the law, a number of police stations across. You have a number of armed forces. The Air Force is here. The Army is here. They are there to enforce it. They know that there is a law. Even it was tested in a court of law. And so for the armed forces to enforce was resistant to implementing. I am not in the armed forces. I don't know the information they have. He was using livestock, or can I say those who violated the law, bring them to court and have them face judgment. I don't know whether that is still in place. I know that some few places that has happened, but the human beings, I bring them with all human beings. Will you prove with it? I don't know. I'm not the government, so I don't know. But if I have, and I will also draw the police, I will draw all the security information, bring them together, and then when I fight for them, whatever they think, I will do that for them, so that let them step up Benue State. Up there at the entry to Benue, then I think we would have been, and I don't want to speculate too much.
Of the nation, a state that prides itself of being the largest producer of tubers. So it's been a constant line of attacks on farmers that can't go to their farms. We hear of other states, also where farmers are paying tax to bandits before the statement that open grazing is no longer sustainable in Benue, and Makurdi is safe. Boko is relative places in Benue relatively safe, but that the problem has always those efforts. Whatever affects Benue affects Plateau State. The governor needs to reach out to the other governors, bordering the state who rode on motorcycle, the one we call Okada, across many communities. 200 motorcycles, but when you see them moving in their AK-47s, in their match, because even Governor Alia came out some times ago that they will need results. What happens to collaborative efforts across the governors?
It would have been of assistance because cross river and collaboration, I think this wouldn't have a path for such collaborations. Media report and that. Nothing run back to Nasarawa. Attack in Benue State, run back to them. You need to know that even this, because there should be a joint task force on these border areas. Better through Akwanga to the road cleaning first go there. No officer. Why? It's so, and I say, and when these attacks are being happened to our national armed forces, that we use not the kind of armed forces Nigeria had, that we used to know time around. Let me be very clear, collect from passengers. I don't want to name it because they won't go and respond to that call. They will who are even victims of this.
Conversation and
yes.
If the government, establish the fact that the anti-open grazing law in Benue is not Abuja, because Abuja gives the instruction. So if we say there's a difficulty sponsoring killings in his state,
doesn't make any sense. To me, reason for the existence of actually is not on the same subject. If don't understand why are they are not part of Benue State. If they kill all Benue State, is that all of them things that we don't know? Also, really, a mosque is very close by where a church is established, and when they are standing without any hitch, nothing, and that was when the church building was raised down. The mosque was standing and needs to do a thorough investigation to understand, is there a religious change? So, so many probably, look, since His Excellency is and probably factors, maybe that report, that security report that is having his hand may give us some answers to this question. Research on the subject matter and being careful. Everything that I'm saying here seems to be speculative. What is not speculative, but for what reasons? And who are those that are responsible for this?
I think that some of these answers would come from researchers or committees. I read an article you made earlier in the year on the conversation around state policing means security in their states is being handled. If when to give instruction, when to call for help. It takes us back to the Abuja narrative. Prof, is it time for us to be intentional about the conversation? Do you need the police to be domesticated? They'll tell you yes, to come and support Operation Rainbow. If you ask a typical Zamfara man, anyone in Ondo State, for instance, that has seen the killing that happened by means of, protecting their own people, is it just leave the system and let the status quo? It makes a lot of sense when the governor can give instruction immediately and things are brought on.
So right from the word go, the killings, when the killings started around, I suggested this as one of the measures to address this subject matter for their own, to fight their political wars and so on and so forth. But to me, in the United States for years, they have state police and they also have
county police
also. So, and then you go to some other countries, also you see this because I've been to Germany. I think it's a welcome idea for the state police, at least 95% power of that particular state. If Benue State has such, I think the gravity of what we're seeing on the ground would not be so. Forces on the ground, and yet when this is happening, they would tell you if you do it, you will be dismissed from service. That's it. So His Excellency is serious about it, then he will be able to curtail this type of killings that are going on a daily basis in our state. Yeah, that's my take.
Okay, Prof. Well, in case you're just tuning in, I've been speaking with Professor Emmanuel Usᴜᴇ. He's a professor of Old Testament, having the conversation around battling food crisis and insecurity in Nigeria. Today we focused on Benue State because of someone accused through the allegation on the media, on social media, that every day in Benue State people are getting killed. Farmers, communities are clashing, and it's a big mess as regards providing security for the people. Because first off, there can never be development absolutely clear that the primary responsibility of every government, and this does not just include this government, is to see to the safety and the welfare of or not, whether they share the place you're governing, then you should protect all of these people. Oh, there's nothing like Prof. Let's go back to the other side of this conversation. We've looked at the security challenges, and you've given us a whole lot of way forward. Let's look at certain times. I mean, there were times in this country where I could buy a cup of beans for 25 naira. I could even make choice, times. And I could buy it for 1,005. It could be big enough. Where we are right now, Prof. It is really difficult to get a bulb of onion. Is a links to the crisis going on in Benue. Benue is supposed to be the food basket of the nation. It's bordered at the centerpiece of everything in this country. Do you think we're also feeling the heat from Benue?
We are actually feeling a similar situation in Benue State. Let me tell you, for people, it's very pathetic. Cheap people in our towns and cities. Yes, and villages. Why? Because most of the places are very foodlums or terrorists or bandits or no government, speaking. But because in cities you have people who are working in the area. The situation is so pathetic. Maybe we are going to see something that had never happened. I don't know what will happen. But it's going to be worse. Tackle this man rooted completely in what we call full crisis. So and that will not be good.
Indulgence that I would keep you on standby so that we can pick some. Would love to keep you so that you can listen to some of the 3600-0410 respect to food crisis. More importantly, the insecurities in the season starts about 4 or 5 weeks ago, where there were talks of how many people have been killed under. I didn't even need Transparency International to tell you the fact. This year alone, how many people in Nasarawa are in Borno State? These killings left, right, and center. Don't let us even talk about the Southeast. Basic responsibility as stipulated by the government, by the Constitution rather. Then I think we're in for some long ride. As we speak, is a professor of Old Testament Studies and Counseling at the Department of Religious and Cultural Studies, Benue State University. Let me pick your calls. Talk something the same way, and you're not getting but let's pick calls. 0913-600.
Good evening to your professor. To me, I don't know without order. Once we solve this problem, who are these people? Who are they? Powerful. They can do more than what they do right now.
All of these questions, but let's pick more calls. We also have a lot of messages to read as well. Hello, good evening.
Bata said that listen, but it doesn't have the political will because of 2027 elections in Lagos, and they are killing people. In the video where people were running for their people, when they're supposed to be protecting the people, they won't. Especially the ones supposed to showing the best of us.
Thank you very much. 0410. Keep the conversation coming. Come.
You have a Kwagwadi. I'm calling from Sango.
Good to have you join us.
The government in military initiative with terrorists to be in the war. America recommended to government that dictating to the government. So it was crying. Then the commander of that unit said they don't have any command to cattle their reality. Are they not supposed to be them to?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We have loads of messages as well about let's double up on the Hello, can you hear me? Okay, good to have you join us.
This is Samuel calling it that we are discussing this issue of Barrister Curtis at the end of creating because of the lack of this, it's all about their passport. If not, yeah?
Yes, I am.
Thank you very much. Let me just pick more calls, then I'll read messages, then I'll allow you to respond.
So,
Can you hear me?
No, the first of all is that that is the best way, because the government all that they needed. I believe in leading to the federal government. They would deduct the money directly and pay the police. That is number one. Secondly, each hamlet pick 4-5 able-bodied integrity. Then the army will go them. They will not wear
uniforms
in that community. So once those marauders, those X-men comes in the night.
Sorry to hold your thought, Mr. Shola. How many of these people are coming in on motorbikes?
A village of soldiers, they will train them on handling of firearms. Then they will put one soldier, one regular soldier, into that community, living in that community. And then, that is all.
Thank you.
Those people will think twice.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let me respond very soon. Hello, good evening.
This is Grandma Maggie.
Okay.
Security vote meant for. And I want to believe that security is the securing of life and property. By giving the governor security vote. And people are saying we should take ourselves. How?
God upheld the sentencing.
In the rule of law at all in this country cannot secure their state, cannot use the army, cannot use. Thank you.
Prof, maybe we should pause the call.
I think comment. The first one was who is holding the soldiers back to do, and they said that they have no chain of command, and they need let them wait until the role of government is protecting block in the wheels of security. A proposal and the constitutional provisions guiding the operations of responding to this type of declared in some places. Because when emergencies are declared, then next. That's my own reason about that. But who is holding it, I don't know. But there are people from Abuja, so I don't know their names. But if there's a legislation that say, look, you must respond to that. I think there's something we be.
How are you?
I'm very fine.
Yeah, my own perspective is I think the government doesn't. The objective of the government is to lift the emergency in Rivers, and those people do anything and call the president to declare state of emergency. I think that will help a lot because beginning in Benue State as before, the president should step in, and I'm sure it will reduce a little bit. Thank you. That was my.
Hello, good evening.
Oh, hello. Can you
complicated one really? But I will still poke government. We have number one. Yeah. Then the another thing is the all these people dying back for our politicians, attached to all these very important people, VIPs. They should withdraw a lot of them. Let them pay for their securities. If they end it all, the remuneration is a lot of value. Terrible. Except the whole system is taking, jamboree. You will see how much they will spend again on Thursday. I'm so tired of this situation.
Unfortunately, thank you. Emergency is still on in Rivers State and in the States. Let's do this quickly.
Government, particularly the president, on this matter of emergency, state of emergency. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know whether our people are telling him or those who are around him are giving him this information to see state of emergency being declared there. But in Benue State, there's nothing like, at least security. The governor will still be performing his role. The communities where these attacks are happening are stationed there and make sure they secure the lives and property of those people in those rural areas where farming activities take place. This is my own reason of security situation. The security arm of government should move to those communities, to the communities where these killings are happening, and station there and protect the lives and properties of those people who are.
Thank you.
Yes.
I know how difficult it is to get to you, and I'm really, really happy that you've been very patient. Thank you. Thank you for your contributions. And then I hope that, when you're done with your research, I'll be here to make it public as much as I can. Thank you very much, Prof. And Cultural Studies at the Benue State University, Makurdi. Thank you for giving us your word, and thank you very much for all you do for your state.
And the university has just changed its name from Benue State University to Reverend Father Moses Oshio University.
I just hope the change of nomenclature would also come with change importance.
That's our prayer too.
Thank you very much, Prof. And have a beautiful evening.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You too.
Well, this is about the size of the package today. Apollo, connect with us on Facebook. And this program is also on governors giving from Oshodi. Well, a lot of credit needs to go to the Lagos State government in that regard. It's quite unfortunate. Well, thank you very much, everyone. Next up is Mainland FM Global News at 5:30. And I will be back here in camp and in very high spirit. All of these and more transfer stories will be by 6 p.m. My name is Oᴏᴜᴜᴇ Sᴛᴜᴅɪᴅ O괘ᴜᴜᴜ. Thank you very much. But 1 to 3 p.m. don't miss